All right. So the topic is
Yep.
how to prevent corruption in a new organization. This is important because that is the highest risk in an organization. If you want to ensure that a corporation, a initiative is going to be successful, is preventing any kind of corruption inside that is going to hamper the plan of the leaders and the plan of the main objective and the purpose. So we have um, identify identify that the tendency to fall in addiction to power is one of the triggers of corruption, seeking unfair advantages. People are normally inclined to lie and hide the truth. People also find easily to feel offended, tendency to retaliate. There can be jealousies, ambitions, leading to sabotage others, performance and reputation for work. And those are human aspects that are risks. However, those risks can be mitigated, can be avoided, can be transferred in a way that we use a process and we understand the human nature and we adapt the process to the circumstances to respond to those risks. So one of those solutions, focusing on the solution, is rotation of roles that is rarely happening in corporations. That's why even big corporations end up being corrupt, no matter how ethical they say they are. Reward system methodology is support to recovery or rehabilitation over punishment. Uh, Provide emotional support. And there is another uh, topic regarding the proxy attack method to identify um, the source of corruption, the source of um, false information, and also a process for addressing problems, problem management process. Do you guys have any question, any opinion or comment about this? About the human nature, how to respond to human nature that might be potentially a risk to your organization?
Is the goal to overcome human nature? I guess that's the goal. I'm still paying attention, so I keep going.
Okay, so we can use an ideology with values, with reward to develop career and also use of leadership. These combined can create a bulletproof organization that is going to be better than traditional organizations. So the ideology is we all are one. If I harm somebody, I'm harming myself. Leaders create leaders. Developing trust every day continually. Allow relationships and interactions in the company, in the organization. Gender equality. Understanding that reward is way more powerful than fear and punishment. Inclusiveness. And using discernment about using understanding the vibrations and how vibrations turn to emotions and how that those emotions, those vibrations become valuable. You know, there are positive energies and negative energies, but we can use the positive energies to create value instead of just seeing everything from a monetary perspective. The energies and emotions are also value. So we have the ideology, the strategy, organization, framework, system, and methodology. One of the um, one of the solutions is rotation of roles. I'm going to give you an example. Let's say that somebody is promoted to a manager by the owner of the company, and that manager is doing their work well, but at some point it becomes addict to the power and likes the position of power, and will feel afraid or intimidated of others. Oh, this person is going to sabotage me, or this other wants my position, and then that person starts protecting the position of manager, and the status, and might eventually do things that are not for the company, are for protecting that position. So that's where the corruption starts, when I put my own objectives above the company or the organization positions. The company and organization goals should be over me. So how do we reduce the probability of sociopathy? That is sociopathy. Sociopathy is addiction to power and overprotection of power by rotating roles. Let's say I'm promoted one year as a manager, but I know next year I'm not going to be a manager. I'm going to give that position to another person, and that person will have the experience, the opportunity to become a manager as well and grow professionally. Now the next year, I know I'm going to be a clerk. I'll be humbly working, maybe cleaning, or maybe doing something that is not a manager position, right? Now, we're encouraging humility. We're encouraging protection of the company. We're encouraging career developing. We're encouraging creation of leaders. Maybe in that position of leadership that I have to train my successor, and I'm going to create a new leader. Then the next year, I'm going to be a clerk, or somebody who is doing maybe accounting or cleaning or any kind of work, right? Then next year, I'm going to go to another position where I'm going to learn something new. Maybe that something that is that requires a lot of technical skills. So I have to learn that technical skill, and the person who is already there in that position will teach me those skills. So that person is going to create another type of leader in me, and I will not be always stuck in that hierarchy position where I'm going to become a bully, protecting my power and my position as, or the seniority that I have. So if we rotate roles, everybody will understand what it is to be in every position in the company, and people will not be overprotective of their status.
Can we ask questions whenever?
Yes. Do you have any question? Does it make sense?
Yeah, actually, my question is, what about to people's having skills and talents and abilities? And so some people maybe not want to be a manager, some people just don't have the personality for it. I know you can learn these things, but I recently learned that there's like 4 levels. There's like the doers who just want to do, they don't want to manage anybody, or they don't have the skills. And then there's the managers. Now, the managers can be doers as well, but if you're like a manager and you like to manage other people, and there's the communicators, and then there's the visionaries. So not everybody, I don't know. I'm just asking, if you rotate people, but based on people's skills and talents and abilities, how does that work?
I think it would be an internal discussion to measure the different abilities and grow those abilities that are necessary for the certain positions. Um, for example, if I am not really good at maybe I'm good as a manager but not good as a leader, then I have to improve my leadership skills, and that is the career. Okay, you need to go perhaps to this position so you can enhance your skills, and you will have a mentor. That person who is already there will help you get there. Um, but the rotation has to happen. It might be voluntary, of course, but if somebody doesn't want to grow, it will not change their position. So if we want people who are going to be continually willing to grow, willing to change, willing to be adaptable, because in nature, the stronger is not the one that survives. In nature, the one that survives is the most adaptable. For example, dinosaurs were big and strong and very evolved, but they disappeared. They went extinct, and only the little creatures that were more adaptable to the situation survived. So that's the same. If I want to grow, I do my best to acquire new skills, and I will be willing to flow in the rotation of roles. I believe that if you want, you can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Even if it's uncomfortable, if you want to, you can.
Yes.
I like it.
Yeah.
Because it gives everybody a well versed to understand how the company runs. That one part cannot run, and the company needs all the parts to run properly. And by understanding all parts, it makes it more cohesive for the company to excel.
Is there fear of people not doing such a good job knowing that all these problems in this position is not going to be theirs tomorrow? So they're like, like if there's a problem, not want to fix it because, hey, I'm leaving soon or I'm not going to be here forever. Let me just push this problem onto the next person. That could be something too.
Yes, yes. Everything is possible, but the idea is to grow people that we can trust. If we cannot trust them because they want to blame somebody else, and we're going, like for example, presidencies that happen in presidencies, they create a lot of problems, and the next president is going to will not have time to improve the country. They will have to face all the problems left by the previous president, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's about education. Hey, be mindful, because even if you're in the next year you're going to be in another position, you will still continue to be the mentor of that person or your predecessor. So it will be a shared responsibility.
Got it. Makes sense.
Don't leave that person alone. You train them before coming to your position. You leave the position, but you will continue being their mentor. So their problem is also going to be your problem. All right. So next we have using existing methodologies. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. If you want to know you're on the right path, in the right doing what is proper, you will try to adapt to existing methodologies. ITIL, PMI, COVID, Lean, Agile. Those are industry standards that were proven that works by many companies, many years of experiences, thousands and maybe millions of projects shown that these methodologies work. And guess what? The vocabulary, the naming convention is understood across the world. So no matter where in the world you're talking or what company you're talking to, it's a common language that is using these different methodologies. So yeah, make use of what is in existence. When we have ground rules, when we are transparent, when we communicate policies, when we create organizational process assets, when we attack the process, not the person. Equality, rehabilitation, helping the employee to improve if they have a personality defect or a weakness, and use ways to quantify performance. Those are important aspects of a culture. It's a mindset, not just the process. Now, problem management process. And this is what I was talking about, attacking the process, not the person. Oh my gosh. Okay, attacking the process, not the person. Why is this changing? 1 second. I have to
But maybe
use
have it
the...
on slideshow or something.
Yeah, it has a time duration, so I don't have time to go. So okay, so problem management, this is about attacking the process, not the person. Let's say that an employee fails in something, whatever, and there's an escalation. Somebody comes to the manager or the owner of the company and say, hey, we have this problem. Okay, was the process followed is the first question. More companies say, oh, if the person followed the process, we're gonna have consequences, and we're going to punish or have corrective actions over the employee. But before attacking the person, we have to ask some questions. We can ask whether the process makes sense. Is the process well documented? Is the process too manual? Is the process automated? If that can be automated, right? If any of the questions are no, then we have to check the issue with employee, because perhaps it was negligence. Sorry, we have to check the process. The process, when we check the process, we fix the process or do something to improve documentation or the way we do things, and then we attack the process so it's not going to happen again. If all of the questions are yes, the process makes sense, the process is well documented, the process is automated, then the problem isn't the employee, because it was probably negligence, right? And then we check whether the person needs more training or if the person was actually negligent. And if there is negligence, then take disciplinary actions. If it was just training, or it was something that, human error is always present, we need to document the case and ensure that there is a lesson learned. What did we learn, and how can we prevent this type of mistakes in the future? So always checking the process before attacking the person. Does the process make sense? Is this documented? Is this too manual? Right. So that way people will not be afraid of anything. People tend to blame others. Oh, this task has a lot of risk. I could make a mistake. I'm gonna make sure that this is done by another person. So, or find a way to blame another person, right? But if I'm not afraid of doing my job, because I know my manager is going to be fair, my manager is going to attack the process, not me, then I will be less stressed at work. I will have more positive trust in my leadership, right? Does it make sense, or do you guys have any questions about attacking the process, not the person?
Nope, we're
I had
good.
a situation like that. Go ahead, Marjorie.
No, I was just saying no. It's good to me.
Yeah, I had a situation like that where I have to keep checking if it's not working. Is it my fault? Did I still give him good instructions? And sometimes it's not that easy to know. But if other people did it well, and like if this person is not getting it, but maybe the other person is just smarter, and so I'm always checking to see if it's me, if it's my process, or if it's the person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. This slide is about the traditional project management. Is, for example, waterfall and agile. There are two ways of running a project. And for example, if you are in a construction project, you have to build the foundation, raise the walls, put the roof in sequence, right? Because it's 1, 2, 3 step, has definitive sequence of events. However, when we are talking about something that is more artistic, usually in marketing, is very useful, is agile. Okay, let's draw. We don't really know what we want. We know we have an idea about something, an outcome. And let's say we draw a first version, we discuss as a team, then we draw it again as in a new version, we discuss with the team, we draw another version and another version. It's an uh, iterative delivery of the product or progressive elaboration. So the 100% of the scope doesn't mean that it is the 100% of the value. The idea is to measure value in a form not of progress, but in a form of quality. So until we have, they say the customer, they say the customer just wants, I want a logo with a puppet. So the first version is this one. And oh no, but I need like more solid like lines. Okay, we create this one. But no, I need it with color. We add a little bit color. No, I need it to the other side like this, happy with a smile. Okay, that's perfect. That's the one we need, right? So we create different versions of the same logo or the same drawing until getting something that is suitable for the expectation. Any questions? Any comments about this methodology?
What is agile versus traditional waterfalling?
Okay, that's the thing that I'm explaining. Waterfall is, for example, a construction project when you have to do 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, one thing after the other, like constructing a house. You create a foundation, but you cannot build the walls without putting the foundation. You have to have the foundation, then after the walls, without the walls, you cannot put the roof. You have then to put the roof, and it has a sequence. But in agile, it's something more dynamic, more artistic, more abstract. When you don't really know what what goes after the other, right? So that's why I'm putting here the example of this drawing here.
Right.
So
I understand.
Next one is about conflict resolution. There is in IT, a hacker can use what is called a proxy attack. The hacker infects one computer to infect a lot of computers, and using a orchestrated attack of multiple computers, attack one target, one server, using many computers. In sociology, it happens similarly. Let's say a person that is corrupt, or a person who has bad intentions, who has maybe a narcissistic personality disorder or sociopathy, could attack another person in the organization using intermediaries. That person will not attack directly the victim. That person will spread rumors. That person will spread negative lies about this person to create an environment of bullying, to create one enemy. And that's what Hitler did. Hitler convinced an entire nation that the Jews were the enemy. He created an enemy to obtain power. And that is corruption, essentially. That happens all the time in companies, that happen in the governments, they create an enemy to obtain power. So how do we stop that? When there's a conflict, when there are rumors about somebody, we have to, and this is the diagram. Number one, we have to interview every single one of the persons involved and ask, hey, what have you heard about this person Y in this example? Oh, that's interesting. Who said that? And then, oh, B told me that. And then we will go to person B Hey, what have you heard about person Y? Who said that? Oh, person X told me. And then person X says, hey, what have you heard about person Y? Who said that? That person Y said, I actually don't know. They are just talking about me. I don't want to be involved. Okay, we don't know who said that. We go to the next one. Person C. Hey, what have you heard about person Y? Oh, I have this and this and this. Oh, who said that? Oh, person X. Now we have two persons saying that the source of the information, the source of the rumors is person X. We go to person D. Hey, what have you heard about person Y? Oh, this and this. Ah, interesting. And who said that? Oh, person A. So we go back to the original person. So when we do the counts, we can identify what is the source of the rumors. Who is actually seeding negativity and toxicity in the group by interviewing and identifying who is the source of the actual rumors. So that way we can identify in an organization um, potential toxicity, potential um, corruption. That is a proxy attack. Do you guys think it's a good tool for preventing any kind of conflicts in the workplace?
What I'm hearing is that you're saying basically ask people where, like, try to find the source of where the story started, which is a process that can cause a lot of people to be like, I don't want to be involved. I don't want this. But I think in the future, people will be more careful about it and say, if there's rumor, we're gonna ask, we're gonna figure out. So people are gonna be careful about what they say, or at least it will be on the hush hush, you know, which will help prevent rumors, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and people will be careful. Hey, never talk negative about your colleagues. Never talk negative about your boss. Never talk. So when people, hey, if you see something, just keep it for yourself. You don't have to. Um, you have to bring negativity to the work. Like it keeps the workplace safer and more positive.
But it also can, like, people can see things and don't say anything, which would not be good for safety, or they might see something and they want to point it out to you, but they're not sure what it is. And so as a leader, I had that problem when people would come to me, and after a while I said, look, don't come to me unless you want me to address it. Say, oh, don't say I said it, because they'll know. I'm like, after the second time, because I asked the person, I didn't say that. Who told you that? Who told you that? And here I am, I can't say who told me because that's a source. Then I told the source, I said, don't give me any more information unless you really care about the problem. Because if you see the problem, you want to solve it, then you should also be addressing it and say, this is what I thought, this is what looks bad. Like, quit being creating gossip. And after that, I didn't really have a problem. But I want people to point out things that might be issues they might think is a problem. But then if they're scared to say it publicly themselves, then that's a problem as well. Because then I can't reveal their source. So I said, I'm going to be open with everybody. It's going to be bad for all of us if you don't address it. So
Mm-hmm.
that's my take.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they should be able or have the trust to address it to the boss, not creating rumors and gossiping in a team because they might they might be conflicts within. It's better to just to address it. And there's another. Actually, I skipped this one. Sometimes it's good to create two towers, like two lines of management in which this one is going to oversee this one and this one is going to oversee this one. So it's going to be a reciprocity in terms of audits. They're going to audit each other. For example, we have this issue in this line, and the other side who's maybe going to be completely impartial is going to check what is going on here and report what is going on. I mean, nothing is perfect, but those are techniques and organization types or models and processes that can help reducing conflict and potential toxicity, potential corruption in any organization. But in the end, the human values are what are important. The idea is always to create trust, continually develop trust, transparency, good values, and knowing that creating false accusations, false allegations could harm everybody. We want to be very, very careful about ethics and always saying the truth, because we cannot really trust somebody who lies. We need to be able to trust anybody. So counseling, rehabilitation, if somebody has tendencies to lie, hey, we have to correct this, and we want that, and we can put it as part of the expectations as work. If they don't improve certain personality issue, then we have to let them go, no matter how talented they are. Because in the end, a person is made by values, not just abilities. So reward over compensation, creating a reward system, rewarding good behavior, rewarding progress, rewarding improvement in personality, rewarding, and not doesn't have to be monetary. It could be with a little present, a congratulation in the team. It's a continual auditing also in the vibration of the person. A lot of people bring to work problems at home, so we can actually help them. Hey, what is going on with this? And we can sponsor healing sessions, like a holistic session. In my case, what I do is a QHHT or hypnosis healing that can help a lot in resolving personality issues or personal problems. And I mean, I can offer that here to anybody who would be interested in helping anybody who has a personality problem or personal problems that might be affecting their organization. So offering those benefits of holistic healing and counseling and rehabilitation can help the company creating trust. Oh, I know I'm not perfect, but if I make a mistake or I do something that the company thinks is wrong, I know they're going to give me support. Somebody, a holistic healer or somebody who is a counselor, will come to me and will help me with my personal deficiencies, weaknesses, or problems. Instead of, oh, I'm going to be fired, oh, I'm going to be penalized because I know my managers are good and I know I'm going to have support. So eliminating fear is very, very important. I think that's the end of my presentation. You guys have any comments, questions for me, or do you like the ideas? I think
You're on mute, Marjorie.
I like it because we need to have a change in how companies are running. I like it a lot.
Happy to hear.
Yeah,
I also gives the employees an opportunity to feel that they are part of something bigger than themselves, as well as responsibility.
Yeah, I appreciate it, and I think it's good for like small business owners as well, not just big corporations. Because I think most, especially people in the community, were mostly small business owners versus big corporations. or solopreneurs, but this is good for people, maybe I could see this making sense for even a group of 10 or less employees, to make sure that it works, I think. So yeah, I like it. And I hope we can get the slide and the recording and look over it again.
Now,
Yes.
if we
Yeah,
could just
definitely.
come up with something for the shareholders, they're the ones that really run the corporation, because the bottom line is always money in their pocket at the cost of humanity.
Yeah.
But do the shareholders make decisions on a daily basis of how the companies run?
Uh, yeah, they could fire whoever they want to get fired if they get word of something that's hurting their bottom line. We had a perfect example. Look at the colleges with the protests. They have board of directors. It's the board of directors that are implementing, going after the deans because they're not doing their job to squash the protests on campus.
I don't know anything about the protest. Is protest happening in the
Oh
States
my
or?
God. This protest has been going on all of the campuses all over the world for Palestine, against Israel, wanting colleges to divest with the military industrial complex and with Israel.
Oh,
Oh
wow, I
my
didn't know
God,
that.
that's been going on for the last, 4 weeks,
Oh
to the
yeah.
point that police have been called to remove the people, and it has been very ugly. Meanwhile, the protests have been calm. Uh, they were even sharing Passover, learning about each other, a much better community than what is going on outside of the colleges.
Hmm. Interesting. Okay, good to know. I'm gonna look that up.
Oh my goodness. I'll send you a link that
Yeah, I'm
shows
in my
exactly
world.
what the news has been showing and what's really been going on the campuses. Somebody put that out. And you see it now too, anyway, even with news, the news media, the corporation, the board members of the news media, they pick and choose who they're firing because you're not putting out the message that we want you to put out to the people.
Um,
There you go.
I got it. Got it. Yeah, that's like on the higher level. Um, what the presentation of today, I think, is about like a manager or CEO like running the business in a specific way or creating a culture.
Mm-hmm.
From what I feel like a
Mm-hmm.
culture of the corporation. So it's would you say, Roberto? I don't know. I don't speak for the presentation, but this is more for the managers of these business. Would you say this training is for a manager?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This man, yeah, actually, everybody should be aware of this process. So everyone in the company is on the same page. But the ones making decisions are definitely the ones that have to know this and put it into practice. Managers, presidents, vice presidents, executives, CEOs, CIOs, all of them have to embrace the concept to make this work.
For it to happen, right? So, since your presentation over, thank you so much, Roberto, for doing that, and it's gives me a little time to share a little something too, kind of the same topic, but I learned it's interesting that it falls in the same kind of thing about managing. And this actually helped me, reason why I want to share it, because it helped me to step into what I'm doing. So I'm gonna just share it with you guys. So I was talking to somebody. I was like, it's kind of like a little training. They're talking about the 4 levels of people getting paid. Like people get paid at 4 different levels. And I was like, okay, so because I'm if sometimes I have trouble, like people don't fit different roles, like I mean put them in another role. The person is a manager, well, all the different things. So they said the first level are the doers. So I'm putting in the comments as well. So the doers are people who are do their job. That you tell them what to do, they do it. They learn a skill, they do it. I think most colleges train people to become doers in life, is to do what you're told. School, get good grades, you're doers, and you can make money to being a doer. And I also think that doers inside of business can change positions to learn, like kind of what you were saying, to change different roles and different things so they can learn each other's stuff. The training said that it's hard to learn once if you're like a natural born doer, it's hard to be the next step. But if you're on the next level, then you can learn to be a doer. So the next level of as a doer is a manager. So somebody who can see the bigger picture, can train people, can see the thing. And I think a doer can be an entrepreneur too, mainly probably a solopreneur, or maybe have a small team that's telling him, but he's like the doer, like a plumber or something. He does a job and he gets paid for it. A manager, I could see he's like has a small team. He could also be an entrepreneur. You know, he has a business and he creates it and he manages people and gets paid. Um, and it's hard for the doer to become the manager, but it's easier for the manager to train to become the doer if they need to do that. So they switch roles in that way. And then the fourth level or the third level from the person being the manager and managing people. So the manager has a higher vision. The manager should get paid more than the doer because they're managing a lot of doers and their vision is greater. Um, and then the next level is communicators. And so what I understood was basically, I'm just telling what I got from this conversation. I'm not from what I'm bringing something to. So I'm not an expert at this. The communicators should get paid more than managers, but those are the people that are like, I would say coaches, like most of us in the community. Roberto, he has a message. You have something you want to say to people. You write books. A lot of pastors are probably communicators. You know, they have a system. They're communicating a message out in the world and they're a little bit higher pay normally than a manager because they have a message and they're going all over the world or however they're doing it. But their thing is really communicating. And I think a lot of coaches, Marjorie wants to communicate something. We're all communicating something. Managers don't really want to communicate something. They already have their system. And then, you know what, this interesting, this helped me because one of my employees, she's really good at what she does and helping my clients and building these communities and marketing. And she creates the content. She's more skilled than I am in a lot of things. So even stuff I might have an idea, she studied this in school. And she's very dynamic. And, you know, the little devil in my head is like, you better be careful because she could just steal all your clients one day. You know, she could do all that stuff. And it was always kind of like, I'm like, well, she hope she doesn't do that. I don't think she's going to do that because I'm the one selling it or whatever, you know, maybe she doesn't like doing that. And she's good at managing. She's good at what she does. And she manages the rest of the team. And she's kind of like the leader. And I showed them that, you know, the first follower is really the best leader because they're the ones rallying the troops, you know, all the time. But this helped me not have fear because in reality, the number fourth level is the visionary. So the visionary is the guy who can see the whole big vision. Usually the person who like has the big company has an idea, like I have a vision and what's gonna like how it's gonna impact the world. And they have this whole thing that doesn't exist in the world and they have a vision of what can be. So I see like somebody who's gonna start a phone company selling phones that already exist. They just buy the phone, sell them. They don't need to be a visionary because that vision already exists. They could be a good manager. They open up a little spot at the mall. They hire employees and they're managing and they can still make money and they can just open a lot of shops. But they're not creating something new. They're just managing something that already exists. Communicators, I feel like, are communicating something maybe new, but they don't want to manage employees. They don't, they don't even want to run a business. That's why a lot of them are just become coaches or write books or maybe start an institution. Necessary. But you do need it in a business, from what I learned. You need all of these. You need doers, you need managers, you need communicators, you need visionaries. And I've been operating, I feel, as a communicator and manager. But after I really got this, I said, I think I'm a visionary. And because I do have a big vision. I haven't been telling people about my vision as much. And now this makes me feel like, and the person who was telling me this said, Dan, you're like a communicator, you know, kind of like a pastor. And I'm like, I think I'm a visionary. And so this has helped into my visionary ship and said, this is where I'm at. And then this is
Yeah,
why it made me not afraid, because that employee that I have that's really good, she hates stuff. She doesn't, I have to give her the plan. She doesn't even like recruiting people, you know? So I lost my fear of her stealing my people because she doesn't really want to do that. And I don't think she's capable of doing that, because just because you can manage doesn't mean you're a visionary that's going to have this big vision and put it together, you know, because she's not even a communicator. She doesn't really want to do all that stuff. She just likes managing people and likes having things done in a certain way. So then, like, okay, cool. A doer as well is not going to steal, is not going to, can't do that, because they just want to do their job, do their time. Either they're exchanging time for money, and as soon as the time is up, they want to go home. And so this helped me see, okay, I need all these people. I had people that were doers, and I was trying to put them in as communicators, and that didn't work. I was trying to give them jobs of managers. That didn't work as well. I'm expecting my manager to be a visionary like me and to see the big vision, and she's not, and she's thinking small, and I'm getting frustrated. But now I'm like, okay, I don't need to be frustrated. That's not her role. Now it's easy for the visionary to become a communicator, to be a manager, to be a doer. Like you can go up, you can always learn the bottom ones, but it's harder from what they said. I don't know if that's true or not, for the manager to become a visionary. That's like they're gonna I'm very uncomfortable with that. And I have a communicator that's in the role of a doer right now, and I can tell she's very uncomfortable. She's doing her job, but her real light shines. She's a communicator, and she's that light that's shiny. But she doesn't know, she doesn't have a message yet. But I could tell that's her spirit. And so, yeah, I wanted to share this with you guys because it helped me to step into my vision, which I have 2 minutes, and I'm gonna take the opportunity to share my vision with you guys. Isn't that exciting?
yes,
My big
absolutely.
vision is, you know, I was talking about inspiration community, but inspiration community in my vision is just a small part of my big vision. But I don't really share the big vision a lot. My big vision is to have multiple coaches leading different inspiration communities. And so we have this huge international network. Why do I want that? Or why is my vision like that? I think it'll be way easier. Let's say Marjorie wants to create a program for astrology. Man, Marjorie has her own community with 150 people, 200 people on WhatsApp or whatever. Like we've built that. That's what I do for my clients, build these communities. But Marjorie is also connected to 100 other coaches. And so altogether, we have like 10,000 people in our network, which all of them have their own coaches, like their own church. It's like a kind of like churches have a whole bunch of churches, and it's like a whole network. And Marjorie wants to bring out her program. It's easier, especially with the way I do my clients. I and my team manage these communities. So it's not like I just build a community and they don't do that. We manage it, get people on the calls, communicate with people. We do all that stuff. So how much easier will it be? Because I say, hey, Marjorie, I'm doing Weekend of Champions. Can you tell your community? She's like, sure. It's not really my thing, but now I'm selling somebody else's thing. It's like, it's like, Marjorie doesn't want to go and like sell something else or explain it. But if we're all one network, we have one kind of space, and it's also the people that are promoting Marjorie's events also can just put a little drop in and be like, oh, we're also doing Weekend of Champions. Marjorie's coming, and then she doesn't really have to sell it. It becomes so powerful in raising money for any, like Roberto might have something, and instead of managing, yeah, he has his own community of 200 people, but really he has access to 10,000 people. How much easier will it be for us, all of us, to raise money, to sell our programs, to get people into our calls? Hey, we have a call. We need, you know, 200 people show up on the call because the message went out to 10,000 people, all from that same thing. But I wanted to be leaders of transformation, leaders who are helping people. Not everybody resonates with everybody. Some people are not going to like Roberto's style and what he's talking about, but they're going to like Marjorie's. Some people are not going to like what Anita has to say. They're going to like what I have to say. But we're all part of the same global movement of transformation, because my belief is that everybody in the world should be part of a community that's helping them transform themselves, you know, in one way or the other. If you don't believe in astrology, then something else. But that makes the world a better place. That makes you a better person. And everybody has something to offer. So I think everybody can be a leader. They can have a community that they're leading, that they're explaining, but they don't even have to lead the community. If you need a space to speak, I mean, I'm going like a minute overboard, so forgive me. To speak, you know, like Roberto did. Hey, I want to talk about this, and he has something to teach. something to talk about, right? And everybody should have or can have. It's not learn something so you can bring it back to things. So I think Marjorie, you should have a weekly call where people are coming every week. You know, even if 15 to 20 people are coming on your call and you're talking about astrology. People are asking questions and you're explaining and it's my job to get people on those calls. It's the team's job to talk to people, find people on Facebook, wherever they are, and get them into your community. But my big vision is this huge network of like almost like a league, and everybody's a team, and we're all like playing together to make this big thing, to make the world a better place, and to make it easier for coaches as well. And imagine the power we have to be able to do things, and we have bring ideas, and you bring it to the committee of leaders, and we say, hey, let's run this week. 10,000 people each give $1. You know how fast you can, you know. Anyways, that's my big vision that I don't really talk about. But this understanding helped me step into it. And instead of just being a manager I'm managing the community and I'm communicating a message about chasing your dream, but I'm more than just a communicator. I want everybody else. So my clients are communicators. I see like I'm a visionary, but most of the people in my community are communicators who have communicated a message. If I can help them with the manager part and the doer part, then we're going to be awesome. But most communicators, they don't want to manage people and do all that stuff. You guys have a message to give. So, all right. Did you guys understand my vision? Did that make sense?
Yes, makes sense. It's connecting leaders, creating a network.
Yeah. And helping them become leaders by giving them a community or helping to build a community. Because as a communicator, it's hard. It's uncomfortable sometimes to start from the bottom and do everything yourself. And so, cool. Anita and Marjorie, did you guys like my vision?
For sure.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
All right. So I'm a visionary, baby. Yeah.
Well, community is the way it's going to happen because we can't expect it from the top to be implemented down. It's got to be in our own little spheres. And from there, we're taking care of each other, looking out for each other. And then it grows and it grows. And then you have a bunch of other groups and you can connect with them to get their resources. That's all it's all about. It's a better way of being able to connect, to share resources.
Exactly. All right. Well, I went 4
I
minutes
like
over.
it.
Anybody have anything to say before we go? Cool. Well, let me ask you before you guys, what do you guys think you guys are in the 4 things? Doers, managers, communicators, visionary.
Don't know.
I'm a communicator because I'm more into coaching.
I'm kind of doer. I'm a communicator.
Yeah, me too. A doer. I do the job.
And you have a message to communicate. Well, but you're definitely a communicator, at least. I mean, because you have a message you're communicating. So for sure, the communicator was like, "Hey, can I talk in the next call? Can I do that?" And there's some people that are coaches on the community, they don't want to talk. I'm like, aren't you a communicator? Like, there might be doers, but they want to be communicators. It just doesn't work for them or something. I don't know, but I'm like, I'm the one pushing them to talk, and they don't want to talk, and they have stuff. They're like, I don't want to talk. I'm like, you're a communicator, but maybe they're not. Maybe there's something else. I don't know.
I think a lot of people are afraid to put their ideas out because they're afraid to be ridiculed or think that it's a dumb idea. There are no dumb ideas. At this stage of the game, all ideas are all welcome because you never know what's going to work.
And practice your idea, practice speaking. Even the idea is not good. You're practicing speaking and giving your idea. You're practicing all the time. So when you get that real idea, boom, you got it. So I don't communicate her, but she doesn't know what she's communicating. Like, she don't have her message down yet, but she's definitely a communicator because she likes talking and she has a light about her, and but she's not there yet. But I say practice.
Who's this
Keep
one?
practicing.
Who is that?
So my staff, Valentina. Have you met her yet?
No.
No, because I talk all the
Yeah.
time with Danny Gerardo.
Oh, Daniela, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And Helen as well. If you're got clients, so Helen and Valentina actually build the communities when they're people in it. And Daniela manages it, the people. But if you ever became my client, you'll talk a lot to Helen and Valentina, who create the content, and they're more the technical. They went to school for that. They're smarter than I am in that part. You know, but I can see that one. Valentina is definitely a light. She has an energy about her, but it's like there's nowhere to put it, you know, or like she doesn't know yet where to shine this light or to whom, but she definitely has it. Anyways,
It's okay.
enough
She'll take
gossiping
all
on
the
my end.
skills and she'll learn all the skills. And when she's ready, she'll be ready to go.
Yeah, as I said, learn the skills. It's all practice, or even if it's a little message, start talking about something because you'll be practicing your communication skills even before you know what to communicate. You know, and now she's just a doer. She's acting as a doer, but I could tell she's not her full potential as a doer. You know,
Growing.
So, anyways,
Growing.
yes, growth. All right, guys, thank you for coming. The people who were supposed to be here were here. People who showed up and who showed up. So, and the call is recorded, so we can always use it for other people. All right, guys, love y'all.
All right,
See you
thank
next
you.
time.
Have a great
Okay, bye.
Thank
weekend.
you.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.
See you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.